Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DMV Business Show. I'm your host, Otto Sevilla, and today I have a very special guest, Adam Levin. Adam is the CEO of Information Experts. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Otto, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Pleasure is all mine. So if you could just give the audience a brief overview of what is Information Experts, please.
Sure. Information Experts, it's a full-service strategic marketing company, and we help organizations communicate the why through print and digital tools. And we target specifically to the small to medium-sized business market within the Mid-Atlantic, especially with companies that are marketing either business to business or business to government. That is our niche.
That's great. So all Mid-Atlantic region, right?
Yeah, well, we like working with companies like Eastern Standard Time or Central. That tends to work best.
Sure. But headquarters for you, Adam, and for Information Experts is Northern Virginia, right?
Yeah, we're based out of Tysons Corner.
Okay, awesome. So that's Information Experts. We're going to go into them a little later, but before that, I like to find out the story behind the individual leading the company. Are you originally from the DMV area?
No, actually, I'm originally I'm from New England. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island.
Ah, okay. So you grew up in Providence?
I grew up in Providence. I went to put myself through college at Bryant University, which is a local business school, back in '87. So it's been a while. And then I wound up started interviewing in '87. Was interviewing with companies out of Connecticut, and they opened up they had an offer for me in Chantilly, Virginia, back and I'm obviously way older than you, back in '87. And I said, all right, I'm gonna, at the time I was thinking about, I was gonna go into business with my father. And I wrote a business plan I went with trying to get financing. It was a great learning experience at 21 and 22. However, when I started work, I attempted to work with my dad for 2 weeks, and we were going to kill each other.
That sometimes happens, I hear.
It does happen. And Pam, like, we can't work together. So not only did I decide I can't work with him, I needed to leave the state.
Okay, wow, okay.
I think it's good if I get like 300-400 miles away from you. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
So I started interviewing in Connecticut, a company out of Connecticut, and they were opening up a distribution center in Chantilly, Virginia. And this is back in the 80s. It was literally cow farms. There was nothing out there. And my first day at work, and I interviewed on a Thursday, I'm just disgusted. I'm out. I'm no problem, gone. And this is the time, you're 22, you have nothing, right? So I fit all my possessions in like a big hockey bag, had some CDs, and then I had, because again, it's the 80s, I had my giant speakers shipped, and that was it, right? So I had everything. So I start my first day at work, and I go to this local sub shop. And if you're from the Northeast, they don't call them subs. They're called grinders. You don't order a sub, you get a grinder.
Okay.
And it's GRINDAH, grinder. That's how you say it, right?
I like that.
So I'm in Northern Virginia for 48 hours. I walk in, again, I've been in Rhode Island my whole life. I got my leather jacket on, my jeans. I walk in, and I go, yo, I'll have a turkey grinder. And the woman looks at me on the counter and leans over and says, what y'all talking about? And I'm from the Northeast. I've never heard y'all before. And I go, what's a y'all? And she goes, what's a grinder? So that was my start of welcome to Northern Virginia.
Oh, wow. I love that story. Before that, Adam, so growing up in Providence, how were you as a child? What were you into? What did you like?
As a child, I had a very unique upbringing. My parents got divorced when I was like eight or nine, and I wound up living with my dad. So, and in my dad, he was 19 when I was born, so it was like living with an older brother.
Okay.
So it was completely, it was a wild childhood. It was great. And I was very into, because my family life was so unstructured, I was really into school, right? I was on honor roll. I played sports teams because it was a release for me. I was just so excited, because that structure, and versus my home environment it was the
No
Wild
structure.
West. So I really thrived in school. So I played 3 different sports every season, tennis, swimming, did basketball, cross
Any
country.
siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger sister,
Okay. Okay.
and so school. So I really enjoyed school.
Okay. So you were into school and different sports, you said, right?
Different school and sports, and also I lived outside, right next to a bus stop, and the bus stop would literally, like, 100 feet from my house. I'd walk across the street, and the bus would take you to downtown Providence, and Providence Civic Center would literally drop you off in front, and it was a major stop for concerts. So
Okay.
I probably have seen several hundred shows. So that was a big deal, right? So anytime a concert came, I was like, I'm in, right? And then it's a different era, right? So my dad was like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like seventh, eighth grade, dropping my 35 cents in the bus stop, and then going to see concerts, with my buddy. Sometimes I'd go by myself. I didn't care. I was like, "Oh, cars are coming, the Kinks are coming. Like, this is fantastic. I'm there."
Yeah. How far you were growing up? How far were you from the city there?
5 minutes,
Oh,
10 minutes,
wow.
nothing. Yeah,
Okay.
it was real close.
Oh, so you grew up there. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I grew up there. It's right in the area where it's on the east side of Providence, where like Brown University is, Rhode Island School of Design. Real college town. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. So you said the household was a little bit crazy, but you had the structure then with school or in athletics, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then you said you went into business school,
Yes,
right?
I
Okay.
went to business school. I went to Bryant. I studied business administration, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So
What made you go into that field?
I just fell in love with marketing.
Okay.
I took marketing. I said, this is what I want to do. I literally just fell in love with it. I said, this is what, I felt like this is what I was made to do. I just, intro to marketing just blew me away. I go, this is who I am. This is what I want.
Were you exposed to marketing at all growing up, Adam? I know you said your father had a business. I don't know if it was through
Yeah.
that or
So
just elsewhere.
my father had retail stores
Ah,
growing up,
okay.
and I worked as a stock boy in junior high school, and then realized at that moment, and I said, this is a god awful way to make a living.
What
So
did
I
you
knew that
sell?
he had children's clothing store, in baby clothes, right?
Okay.
So and I realized doing that, I said, this is awful. Trying to, working with someone trying to sell $15 worth of clothes and run it. I said, no, this is terrible. So I watched him run retail stores, and I said, this is not for me. So I knew at an early age I was not going into retail.
Okay. Okay. And I guess through there you got exposed to sort of a lot of things, whether sales, marketing, business, and all that, right?
Yes. So it was a great environment because I was exposed to a business at an early age, and not only that, but the mentality of having your dad as the business owner, right? So that, to me, owning a business was the norm, right?
Hmm.
Like, that's just, you become an entrepreneur. That's your environment that you
Sure.
grew up in. Like, you just, I don't have a steady check. Well, we had a good week this week. Next week was bad. Whatever that is, but that becomes your reality.
Okay. Okay. So that's why after college you were thinking of going into the business with your dad, but you're like, no, you decided
Exactly.
to move far away and come to Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Okay. And when you come here, is it retail? It's not retail, I assume, as far as when you come down
No,
here
no, no.
into
When I come
Chantilly.
here, the first early part of my career, I wind up, my first job is setting up a distribution center for a telecom company, and then I get exposed to the logistics industry.
Okay.
And then I wind up getting hired as like a salesperson for like an international freight forwarding company, and I bounced around, and I wound up working for uh, a local company, and I was in charge of branding it, developing a website, developing the whole market strategy for this
Oh,
company at like 26, right? So I'm like, and then I did the process, and I just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So I was so excited about doing this. Then my now ex-wife was started Information Experts. It was primarily a training company, and I came in. We became partners, and I built out all the marketing communication side.
Oh, so you
So,
brought,
so,
okay. So you brought on
so
totally different new avenues of business and
new
divisions.
avenues
Okay.
of business, and
Okay.
now it's exclusively today. It's exclusively marketing.
No more training.
No,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
And
it's
what year is this when you got involved in the business, Adam?
2000.
Okay. Wow. Over 20 years. Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's great. So if you can explain, you do a lot of things. I can even see behind you as far as all
Yes,
the different services that you do, right?
absolutely. So
Okay.
yeah, so we do. So we're going to help you with your brand and your message, and we're going to develop all the communication tools. So we're going to help you with your overall strategy, and then we're going to implement all the way down. We do a lot of website design and development, copywriting. We help with your social media messages, trade show design, any type of communication tool that's going to, as part of your brand, we will develop. We'll produce and direct videos, print materials, even down to like you need some specialty items. We'll help with, we'll coordinate that with the printing company. It's a full solution.
Is there a specific niche or industry that you prefer to work with?
Yeah,
Or
we do.
okay.
We do a lot of work with service companies that are marketing B2B, consulting companies, technology companies, nonprofits, engineering firms. Those are all great niches for us.
What do you see some companies do right when it comes to marketing and some that do wrong and are huge no-nos?
I think that's a great question. And so one of the things that do right is making sure that you're fulfilling your brand promise. So as part of your sales message, when you're saying, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z for you, that's reinforced within your marketing on your website, your messaging, your LinkedIn profile. That it's all reinforcing your brand. I think that there's a lot of companies that do that well, and also perceiving looking at it from the user's perspective, from your client's perspective, right? Well, I don't want to know, like right now we're on a video call, right? I don't want you, I don't care why it's working, right? About the technology behind it. I just know the benefit is I can talk to you live. So that's the benefit to me. Don't tell me about the features and benefits of the technology. I don't care. So making sure you're communicating to your end audience how they want to be communicated to, right? So we want to define what the no feel do, right? So when we're designing a engagement, we want to define the no feel do. What do you want the audience to know? What do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do?
Okay.
That's it. Those are the three. If I can get those three answers, I can design anything. And then the second part of your question, so I just had a couple cups of coffee, so I'm a little wired. The second part is having the brand disconnect. A lot of companies will, they'll say one thing, but then when you go to look at their website or their LinkedIn profile, the messages don't align, or they're communicating it from their perspective and not how the audience wants to hear it. Right, that you're going to tell me, why your firm is great. Well, I want to know why I should work with you. And that's really the bottom line is you need to be able to communicate effectively why I should work with you.
I like that. So just put yourself in the other person's shoes or point of
You
view.
gotta, especially today, you can no longer communicate. You just can't blast out your message and say I'm great. You got to understand why people are buying from you.
You've been doing this, Adam, now for over 20 years, and I'm sure marketing back then is very different to how it's done today.
Absolutely.
What have you noticed? Because and some people, it's hard for them to change and evolve with today's time, especially with a lot of is now digital. Obviously, there's print, there's a lot of things, there's video, but it's, I don't know, after early 2000s, and now it's a lot of social media and other avenues as well.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest difference now is the amount of information that's available to a potential buyer, right? So a lot of people are doing their research ahead of time before you even get an opportunity to speak with them. So you have to make sure that your messaging and your brand is solid, and also that you have a good reputation, right? Because a lot of people will make a decision not to work with you before you even had a chance to speak with them, because the availability of the information is everywhere now.
And because of that, you need to have your online presence of, you need to work on that, just because
Absolutely.
that's where everything goes first.
Everyone goes for it, and especially now with the global pandemic, people have more time now. They're on your website and they're checking you out before they talk to you, right? Everyone, before you meet with someone, everyone's going to do two things, right? They're going to go to your website and they're going to check out your LinkedIn profile. Universal, right? And if they have a bad experience, or either one of those leaves a bad taste in your mouth, we're not hanging.
Yeah. The first
You're
thing,
gone.
they're going to Google you. That's it.
They're going to Google you, or they're going to pull up your LinkedIn profile. They're going to do some background on you.
Yeah.
And then that needs to be, and 5-10 years ago, that might not have been the case, because that information wasn't readily available.
Do you see, there's, I think, different schools. I speak to many people, Adam, whether they have their own business or they have roles that maybe sales or more entrepreneurial roles. And they're like, well, before I would get business, phone call, belly to belly. And of course, you still need all that. And they don't have an online presence at all, whether LinkedIn or whatever it may be. And I see that changing. I've been seeing that changing for a while.
Absolutely. And I get this all the time, right? Well, I'm not getting any business from my website.
Yes.
I get that, every time, it's not that important. I don't get any business from the website. And I come back to them and I say, yeah, I said, that may be true. However, you could potentially be losing business from your website. There are people checking you out, and if it's a bad experience, they're not going to work with you. So I'm very confident that if you didn't invest in this, that you may not be driving directly, but you are losing business from it.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because they're like, I don't get leads from websites. People, and I'm like, well, you might lose a lead just because they can't find you online and
right.
not have a review or whatever it may be.
Exactly. And people, they're going to make a decision whether they want to work with you based on your digital presence.
Yeah. And you said most of the clients, it's business to business that you work with, and it's sort of the SMB, small business sector,
yeah,
right?
Small to medium-sized business market, any growing small to medium-sized business, we're a perfect fit for.
Okay, that's great. What would you say now, Adam, that drives and motivates you?
I love I get energized by meeting new people, and I love like having a vision and then being able to wake up and implement it. That to me is that's really exciting for me. Like, I got up this morning, I said, oh, I get to I'm talking to this guy at 1, I got 3 other client meetings today, and I'm pumped, right? I'm just excited to, I'm working on a new outreach booklet for a client. It looks fantastic. I'm doing a post right now. I literally have it on my iPad to the right, playing with the graphics, and this is going to go live tomorrow. So I'm excited, and I literally, woke up on Monday, thought of this, and now, I'm on the 5th version, and it'll be live by tomorrow. So to me, that's super exciting.
I love that. When you're sitting down with a client, I'm curious, is it, as far as the vision, if they need help creating that and crafting that, is it you? Is it other people from your team, or what's the process there?
Great question. So one of the things that one of the reasons why we restructured the organization is because I love doing the work, right? So when I do an engagement with you, I'm going to be involved, right? I'm going to help with the overall strategy, the vision, reviewing deliverables. That's what I get excited about, right? It's not, hey, this is who I am. I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to give it. Then you're going to be working with someone who's been out of school for a year. That doesn't work.
Okay. You've had a long career, first starting, I guess, in the logistics, transportation
Yes.
industry, and now marketing. What would you say you're most proud of thus far in your business career?
I would say, great question. I would say the ability to pivot, right? Because information experts is going through multiple iterations based on what's happening, within the environment. So I think the ability to pivot and overcome, right? Because life, you're going to have significant ups and downs, right? So, but when you have those downs, you find out who you are. Okay, this worked, this didn't work, and now we're gonna either reinvent myself personally, or we're gonna reposition the organization. So I think right now I'm super excited about. Previously we did a ton of government contracting, which we still do some, but we've repositioned the organization to really focus on the commercial SMB market. So that's been within the last 2 years. So I'm very excited and very proud of that pivot.
This area, the DMV area, is just huge into government contractors. I have many
Yes.
clients in that sector.
Right.
What made you sort of pivot and go to focus on the SMB sector, small, medium-sized businesses?
One of the things that I really like doing and I still work directly with the government, and I have several clients and I can help them market to the government. But again, from my personality and what I'm super excited about is if a client has a requirement, I can do it immediately, right? I'm a quintessential type A. I want to make things happen now, right? So I can do that on the commercial side. On the government, you can't do that, right? The buying cycle could be 18 months, right? And then when you start, you got to follow requirements that were developed 18 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do like working, and I do have some great government clients, and I do enjoy the people and the type of work we're doing, but there's nothing like the adrenaline rush you get with working on the commercial side, where we can make things happen now.
Yeah, no, it is true. As far as the government sector, it's at a much slower pace, the life cycle.
It's a different mentality. And plus, if I'm working with leaders and small business owners or medium-sized and business owners, they're all about now. Like, I wanted it done yesterday. If you do it today, I'll be okay with it. But yesterday would have been better.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's very true.
So I love that.
Do you work with startups a lot, Adam?
Well, I will work with I will. So let me clarify. I will work with funded startups. It's very difficult. I can't really, if you don't have any budget, I can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's coarse or not, but that's the reality.
What advice would you give someone if they came to you and they said, "Hey, I want to," it doesn't matter whatever business, whether
Right.
retail, whatever it may be, service-based, product-based, and they say, I want to open my own business. What are a few pointers they should know starting off as far as, the marketing, the branding side of things?
The first question I'm going to ask is, what problem are you solving? Period. That's my first question. What problem are you solving? And if they hesitate and can't answer, you need to come up with that answer.
Now, does it have to be unique, meaning that,
No,
everyone wants to be the first of everything, but if you just do things differently.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily have to be unique. You just need to do it well and address a need in the market, and you're good.
Yeah, that's good. Out of your here, I mean, you've been in business now. You said you graduated from college in the 80s, right?
Yes, late
Okay.
80s.
So, okay, 30 plus years or so in it.
Right.
Knowing that, what would you want to know now that you wish you would have known all the way at the start of your business career, graduating college?
It's a great question. I I think early in your, when you're younger, you underestimate the importance of the community and relationships. I think that would probably be, if I told, if I went back in time and told myself, I said, hey, you got to focus on this is what's important. And I think that would probably be my biggest advice to myself.
So building relationships in the community.
Yeah, building relationships in the community, and really, going deep with everything. Instead of being, and having, going wide. You know what? Get a handful of people that you're, super tight with, or from an organization. Focus on like 2 or 3 things and just kill that instead of going wide.
I completely agree, and I have a feeling is when you're at a young age, is just you want to do all these different things,
right?
And or even is just about even just transaction. It's just like, okay, done, next, and
you're transaction oriented, and also I would get, most 20, 30 somethings, you will take engagements for money. You don't care, right?
Yes.
It's revenue. No problem. I'll do it. Well, now when you're older, you go, you know what? This isn't a good fit, right? The money's important, but it's not that important. I think we're both going to be better served if we don't do this. But you can't, at 25, 30, you're not going to say that.
Yeah. That's the thing.
You're going to say, oh, you're going to write a check? I'm in, whatever you need me to do.
It's true. I think with time, you value time much more. And at a younger age, you're just like, oh, I have all the time in the world. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, you're not even remotely thinking that anything other than what's in front of you at that moment.
Yes. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Are there any specific habits or skills, Adam, that you feel that have helped you day to day, whether on the personal side of things or on the business side of things?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the things that's really helped me tremendously is having a fitness routine, right? Because it's all the whether your personal life, your professional life, it's really the same. You're the same person, right? So if I can be physically strong, mentally strong, and intellectually strong, it all feeds off each other. So I think that's tremendous. To me, I like lifting weights. I do cardio. I'm into yoga. Those are all super important.
Yeah, I'm the same. Actually, every day I try to I get a workout in, and even today, unfortunately, I overslept, but I still was able to sneak a quick one. But
right.
I need it.
And then that workout is going to make you more productive. Right? Because you're going to hit your day hard and you go, okay, I'm in, and you feel confident and you go, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
I just think that's tremendous. It's all connected. And I think, being physically fit and mentally fit allows you to deliver.
Yeah, I agree. If you start the morning strong, the rest of the day is going to take care of itself.
Right.
And it's even psychological, because now that I think about it, some of the times, the very few times I do miss it, I just feel I'm like, you feel sluggish. I feel bad.
Yeah, you feel sluggish. You're not on. I work out at night. Some people are morning people, because I do it.
You do it at night? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I work out at night. So,
okay. I tried that. I couldn't.
Some people can't do it. I personally, I'm pumped. I'm going to the gym. I'm going at 5:30 tonight. I can't wait. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I tried a couple times when I would put the kids down, and then I would try around after 8 or 9, and it was just like it was different than the morning. Yeah, but some people have different schedules, and
some people are morning people, and night people. I'm a night person, so
there's even people who like to do it during the day, like lunchtime. They go to the gym and they knock out a workout. Yeah,
right. As long as you get it done.
Exactly, as long as you get it done, whatever works for you.
Right.
Starting up any new business, most roles you are wearing the CEO hat, the janitor hat, the marketing hat, the finance,
whatever needs to be done.
Whatever has to be done. After a period of time, you obviously bring people into the team so they can take care of some of those roles. How does your team look now, and how do you go about finding the right people to place in the right seat in that bus to take care of the clients?
Yeah, it's all about getting the right people on the bus, right? I've been very fortunate that I've been able to have, you know, a lot of people throughout my career. And right now we have a small team, and I got like the best of the best, right? So I'm super excited about the people I have on my team now. And the other thing is being able to visualize and being able to leverage each other's strengths and weaknesses, right? Like you're exceptional at this, I'm weak at this, and then making sure we're, you know, you put 1 + 1 + 1 = 10, right? It's not 3. So you're multiplying, you're leveraging each other's strengths and covering up for each other's weaknesses. So I think that took me a long time.
Yeah, that does take time. What's your biggest challenge today at Information Experts?
I think the biggest challenges right now, it's just really making sure we're working with the right clients and making sure we're delivering as we need to. I'm super excited. We had, you know, one of my favorite clients, Yield Bookkeeping. We implemented a retainer agreement with them a couple of years ago. The first year with us, the revenue went up 25%, and they were on track for the second year. We're on a retainer. They're going to do another top line of 20% on top of that. So our challenge is finding more Yield Bookkeepings.
I love that. I'm actually glad you brought that example. That's a great increase year over year, over double digits, over 20%.
Right.
Is there anything that you see there, whether that example or others, Adam, that you've said this client implemented this strategy, whatever it is, pay-per-click, I don't know, whatever it is, and we saw the growth here. Where are you seeing that growth as far as
the
marketing?
growth is, you know, we can start off basic, right? So when we first worked with them, they had like I think a Wix website, right? So I said, well, this isn't going to work, right? So we customized their website, and we put in a organic SEO plug-in, right? So we can start driving traffic to the website so they can get leads. So that was one thing. We put in an award strategy. Hey, we're gonna submit for these awards. We put in the media plan as far as these are where we're going to advertise. And we also, one of the things that was very exciting as far as community building is we created a virtual small business owners roundtable, right? So on a monthly basis, we're getting small business owners together, right? And it's really it's brand reinforcement, and we're really doing this as a service to the community. It's no charge, and we're not selling, right? It's not like, oh, it's Information Experts or Yield Bookkeeping that we're trying to push to people. It's really not. It's about providing a service to the community and processing issues, having guest speakers come in, networking, right? So it's about providing a service to the community, and it's not about selling, right? Are we going to get some business from it? Yeah, probably yes, we will, and we have, but that's not our intent. So those are things that we've put in virtual meetings, content marketing, social media strategy, website design, quarterly newsletters. So we're really, being consistent as far as pushing out to the market, getting our brand out, and then generating inbound leads. So if we're doing all these things on a consistent basis, it generates a lot of leads, and it's going to flow to the bottom line.
I like that. It's not one thing, because sometimes you hear someone, I'm going to try this silver bullet, and it might not just be that.
Work.
Yeah.
It's got to be part of an integrated plan. So if you do all those things, yes, that will work. But if you can try, I'm only going to do this one direct mail campaign, well, that's not going to be effective.
The round table, is that done at somewhere, or is it virtually?
No, it's virtual. It's done over Zoom. So I'll send you the invite. Okay. So yeah, that's fantastic. So we're getting about 20 to 30 people per month on that, and that's right now. It's mostly focused in Northern Virginia, and we're slowly expanding and getting people on the West Coast, and it's growing on a monthly basis. But that's just fantastic. If you can get 3 dozen small business owners together once a month for an hour, that's a lot of magic.
I like that. So you said the round table, you said all it was SEO. So what are they doing? Blog posts, I guess, on their website to attract the
Yeah,
SEO?
we're doing the blog posts and also strong content marketing, right? We're putting articles in there about educating the consumer in how to manage your finances, right? So it's not just about, hey, this is who we are and we can help you. We're pushing out educational content.
Okay, that's good. And how often are they doing that? Because some people are like, oh, I do a blog post. I did one 6 months ago.
No,
And
I
or
would say we're probably doing it. I'll tell you exactly. We have an editorial calendar, but I would say like on a monthly basis, we're pushing out new content.
okay, that's good. Like you said, you mentioned consistency, and it's all about that
Right.
because some people I hear, oh, I did a blog post, and I don't know, months, a year goes by, and they put another one, or like you said, direct mail. I did a direct mail, it didn't work out, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be part of a consistent overall marketing plan, and if you just do one-offs for a couple of months, that's a waste of money.
Mm-hmm. When I say the word success, what's the first thing that you think of?
I would say success is about waking up and being happy with yourself, and making sure that big thing for me is I want to make anyone I interact with, clients, friends, I want to be an added value, and I want to make their life better. So to me, that's the definition of success. Is if I'm part of your life and we're making each other's life better, that to me is success.
Adam, I understand you started in sort of the marketing role in the logistics company, right? Did whether your time in the logistic industry or here with your own company, did you have any mentors, and if so, what did you learn from them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I had some informal mentors. I had a friend of mine who, ironically, we just wound up living. He was living next door to me, and he was a retired telecom exec. And the guy was just he was just brilliant. And I had a situation earlier in my career where he said, "Well, I was spending all my energy trying to fix something." And he pulled me over aside. He goes, "Adam, some things can't be fixed, and you just need to learn from it and move on. So take it as an experience, learn from it, and move on." And to me, that was just mind-blowing advice, right? Because I'm in my 20s and I'm spending all my energy trying to fix this, right? And I didn't even conceptually understand that some things can't be fixed and you just need to learn from it and move on. So that was tremendous advice. That was probably one of the best advices I've ever gotten. It was just like conceptually, that was life-changing. That type of advice. You do your best, and sometimes things don't work out, and you just need to move on.
I like that. Adam, so what does the future look like for you and information experts? What's the next couple of years? What's the vision?
So the vision is we're going to expand our retainer clients. I want to replicate the success we've had with Yield. I want to do that with other companies. I really want to go deep and get another handful of retainer clients. So we're gonna grow that. We want to be the premier agency for the SMB market.
There's nothing best than having that recurring revenue come in every month, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's a win-win, right? Because it's good for us because we can be efficient with our resources, and we're going to deliver more results.
Yeah, that's good. Coming to an end here, what do you like to do for fun in your free time?
So yeah, we talked about a little earlier. I'm really into fitness. To me, that's fun, right? Like I'm super excited to go to the gym tonight. I got my AirPods with my Spotify account. I make a bunch of playlists, and I'm gonna go hit the gym for an hour and a half and just have it and put my headphones on, crank it out, and just be in my own world. I love that. I like taking yoga, and I love binge watching any type of series, right? I'm super excited. If I can get into someone else's world for like 6-8 hours, to me, I love doing that. So I would say those are the fitness and binge watching are probably my stuff I like to do on my downtime.
What have you been watching now?
I just finished Mirror of Easttown, which was really good. That was probably one of my favorite. I just watched that, and I just watched. What else did I do? Yeah, I just finished. I would say that was the last one, and I watched White Lotus. But those were two ones I really liked.
Yeah, the that Major Easttown, we were watching it, and I remember in the end, my wife was trying to find out, 'cause they have an accent, as you can tell, and
Right.
they're like, "Where is this from?" It's obviously somewhere in the East Coast, and
Right,
then
right.
and then it's Delaware, I think. Yeah, I think it is Delaware.
Yeah, it was. I remember. Yeah, she was great in that. I really
Yeah,
loved
no,
that.
it
That
was
was
great.
that
I
was
mean,
one of my
yeah,
favorites.
she's a great actor,
Yeah.
actress. Yes. So if people want to find out more information about you, Adam, and information experts, where can they go to? Where can they reach out?
Yeah. So you can contact me. My email address is alevin, ALEVIN, at informationexperts.com. You can go to my website, informationexperts.com. My phone number is on there, as well as I have a Calendly link where you can pop in, and I love talking to new people. So, we can schedule a 15-minute Zoom call to do a quick intro and see how we can help each other.
Adam, thank you again so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Thank you.
Of course. Take care.
See ya.